What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Monday, by the way. Sorry a little bit late on the video. Hopefully I'll catch you guys at a good time. I'm going to go over some of the news that Plarium gave us today. We also have a ongoing event that's happening only for 24 hours. So by the time you see this video, you only have about 13 hours left. So what's going on right now is that we actually have a kind of a progressive event for the Mikage pieces. So all these epics go into the Mikage fusion, and obviously Tatsu is part of the Mikage fusion. Is Mikage worth all this effort? Yes, she's great. She's a great champion, and picking up these epics are no guarantee, right? Like, you never can guarantee these epics ever coming into your hand. So having a way of getting them is actually really, really nice. However, pulling shards does not mean you guarantee yourself these champions. And if you come out empty-handed, it's actually really, really bad because you're actually giving up quite a bit to pull shards for today for these pieces. Like I said in a previous video, where I mentioned that we must conserve some of our resources because we are expecting a Freya deck of Fate, most likely to be shards, especially if you consider giving away a free champion. Usually they coincide with pulling shards. So save shards for that. And then also we know Thor is the upcoming fusion, September 6th, I believe. September 6th and 5th are the dates being thrown around. Usually fusions start on the Thursday, and I believe September 6th is a Friday, so it might be September 5th. But anyways, it's going to be that week, Thor's fusion. And we know Thor's fusion will start with a summon rush, most likely, as with all fusions, they usually start with a summon rush. So we will need shards for that. That's why an event like this, Mikage's pieces, non-guarantee, yes, it's boosted, but non-guarantee, is definitely a big bait for people that are pulling shards, in my opinion, because you're actually giving up guaranteed future value, which is like a fusion. We know the guaranteed value at the end of the fusion, it's Thor, and then we know there will be a guaranteed Freya. So we have to be conscious of that, because if you pull shards here, you're not guaranteed anything. So keep that in mind when you guys are pulling within the next 13 hours. Otherwise, there is some news today about the events for CVC, during CVC at least. On day 1, there's going to be Prince Kymar, Theodore the Savant, Corvus the Corruptor, and Noct the Paralyzer from the Ancient, Primal, and Sacred Shards. And then for the Void, it's kind of Supreme KO and Shagar. Like, it's really nonsense. It's really nothing unless you're dying for a Prince Kymar. Yes, Prince Kymar is great. But unless you're dying for Prince Kymar on a 25x, keep in mind that 15x only gives you about 7.5% to pull the desired champion. So you have if you pull legendary, which is really, really low chance, non-boosted rates, you can get a chance, you get 7-ish% to get Prince Kymar, which is awful. Okay, so, and I don't think any whales are missing Prince Kymar. Very old legendary, obviously still one of the best legendaries in the game for PvE content. Less so in PvP, but still very good, of course. But yeah, like, pulling for that day 1 doesn't make any sense. After that, on day 2, we have Mighty Uko, past fusion, Sun Wukong, past login, Pinthroy, and Kantra. All these champions are good. Don't get me wrong, all these champions are good. They're not bad. But pulling for them on a 25x, non-guaranteed, non-anything, is just insanity, okay? So I definitely do not recommend pulling for any of these champions during CVC. Unless you're somehow like Mighty Uko's biggest fan and he was the fusion that got away from you or something, definitely don't pull for these events. These events are strictly for just for CVC points, I guess, for people that are pulling for CVC points, which you probably shouldn't do anyways usually, unless you're like Hyper Whale or really struggling for points or making thresholds and that. But these are really poor progressive event champions. Supreme Gaelic and Tuhanarok, good champions, but probably not something you're going to be targeting. We also have a 3x Savage for Fire Knight, which is great. However, the Fire Knight dungeon is not going to line up with the clan versus clan boosted points here. So you have Campaign for boosted 2x points. You have Sand Devil, which is a great farming option for CVC, because the Sand Devil, if you can do 25, is worth the same amount as Spider. And we kind of know that Spider is like no longer like a very end game viable dungeon, I guess, nowadays. It's just not worth farming, but Sand Devil is a very viable end game dungeon to farm if you're so into that. And then arena, double X arena. We do arena anyways a lot during CVC, for example, tag team arena. So double points there. So it would be a little bit easier, to build up points if you guys are already into tag team arena and all that stuff. So yeah, otherwise it's going to be Fire Knight, 3x Savage. We do have the Fire Knight coming tournament that's using champions from specific factions only. So Shadowkin, Dwarf, and Sylvan Watcher. It's actually pretty interesting because these are, obviously we have, if you have Nut, right, Newt, if you have Newt, Fire Knight's going to be easy, right? Or at least Fire Knight's going to be manageable in the hard difficulty. After that, we have, Shadowkin. Shadowkin, like Mikage is going to be good. Who else here? Do they have? Yeah, Zinagir. Zinagir can be good, but Zinagir obviously very exclusive champion. And then part of Sylvan Watchers, we have obviously Grand Oak Paudrake, which stands out for me. You could also pick up and use things like Eostrid for speed up, speed down for Fire Knight, which can be pretty good too. In terms of the epic options that we have, Ruella has multi-hit. He also has turn meter boost. Creodin's going to be a good shout here for this dungeon as well. Bringing freeze, also bringing increased speed and turn meter boost. Very, very good champion. He's basically specifically built for Fire Knight, especially hard. For Shadowkin, in terms of the epic options, we're looking for multi-hitters. Multi-hitters, not too many that really stand out here, I think. Fenshi might be good. Gory was kind of hyped up for hard Fire Knight. Not particularly useful, I think. And then for the dwarves, multi-hit. I'm just trying to think of a multi-hitter here. Not too many stand out to me. Maybe you guys let me know if you guys are using some cool dwarf combinations for Fire Knight. But yeah, Acrizia is going to be good too, of course. If you have Acrizia, it's going to be solid here. There's some options. It's not going to be out of the realm of possibility if you have Newt, right? So definitely going to be possible to do. And then we're going to go over to some of these expiring events here. Make sure you guys, if you guys have some stuff you guys want to level up, for example, take advantage of the artifact enhancement. It's going to be off during CVC, so can't really double dip there. The Asgardian path, make sure you guys fill out your Asgardian path, use up your points, otherwise they turn into silver, which is really bad. But you can see here, look, I got 31,000 points just from using like dungeon energy. And of course I pulled my primals and all that stuff, and I got nothing for it. But I got 31,000 points. For me, I'm going to probably pick up, like, obviously the 6-star speed cliff, and then I'm not going to bother coming down this way, and I'm just going to go down into the reflex gear slot and then just pick up a bunch of reflex gear. The reason I go down to reflex gear is because reflex gives you a better chance that reflex will be usable, because reflex can be used as a damage set with damage stats, or it could be used as a support set with just speed and accuracy, or speed and HP percentage, for example. Whereas if you go down to Savage Gear, you're looking for damage stats only, and it's more likely that it's going to be garbage. Whereas Reflex Gear, you're more likely to get some value, at least some lasting value. So that's probably what I'm probably going to do with my 31,000 points here. I tried my best yesterday to get more primals. I rushed my way to 35 live arena chests. I got the 115 primal quartz here. And I was able to get one more pull, and I was able to finish one of the dungeon thresholds to get 30 of these quartz, and I got another pull. And then in total I had 3 pulls. I had 3 extra pulls. I pulled off camera and everything, and no dice, just a bunch of rares. So I tried my best. It didn't work out for me. No primals this time, so better luck next time. I do have these remnants that I'm itching to pull. I got 3 here, and I'm 15 away from the next one. So I'm itching to pull them, probably for a champion chase somewhere down the line. That'll be, obviously exciting. It gives you the best chance at them, right? 2.5% chance gives you the best chance at the mythicals. Popping back into the events tab, the training event here is kind of rubbish, to be honest. It's a very expensive Lego tome, the very expensive middle stone here. It's pretty much rubbish, so I wouldn't really bother with this event at all unless you have some stuff going on like Minotaur or something, and then just pick up some side rewards. it's not going to be a big focus point. In terms of overall dungeons, we only have the Fire Knight tournament, so it's going to be, you know, lines up pretty good with 3x Savage, of course. Lastly, guys, I will be doing a stream for CBC, so I usually start about 1 hour after CBC starts. So if you guys are available, make sure you guys pop on by. We'll just hang out and chill. If you guys have questions and all that stuff, yeah, I'll be available for some interacting and everything there. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. Otherwise, that's going to be it for the video. Not too much to talk about for today. We got some kind of bogus events going on. Yeah, and I would recommend not going for the mikage pieces just because they're not guaranteed value. For me personally, I went for these pieces part of a hero's path when mikage was first announced as a fusion, and I just basically made sure that I got the epics, and I got mikage pretty early because I committed to that event. But for this event, there's no guarantee, so I definitely wouldn't commit to these pieces if you can help it. Obviously, Thor and Freya and stuff are coming down the pipeline, and we know they're probably going to need a ton of shards involved. So if you guys can save shards there, that's going to be very helpful. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys have a great Monday. I'll see you guys at the CVC stream. If not, I'll see you guys in a video tomorrow probably. So have a good one. Take care. Thanks.